So good to see everyone this morning or this afternoon, no matter where you are. We're so happy that you were able to join us today. I'm so excited that I'm joined today by Dr. Tyson McMillan, who is well known in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. He has been working at Tarrant County College for quite a few years as both a professor in information technology. He served in many administrative positions, and I don't think they could run that very large institution without him. Additionally, he's been very well received and just adored at National American University as one of our very just incredibly knowledgeable professors in our Doctorate of Education program. He has also led our Tarrant County, Dallas-Fort Worth cohort in our Doctorate of Education program as their mentor and cohort coordinator for the past 3 years. So welcome, Dr. McMillan.
Thank you so much for those kind words, Dr. Moore. I look forward to presenting here with you today and speaking about the great program that is here before us. I'm just a humble servant, and I'm proud to serve. So thank you for those kind words.
Sure, absolutely. Well, I hope that everyone can see the screen. We're going to go through a PowerPoint presentation today to give you some of the highlights of our Doctorate of Education program at National American University. This program has been a highly valued, kind of the diamond program at National American University for the past 5 years. So we are all, from Dr. Shape, the president and CEO of our university, all the way through down to all of us at National American University. We're very, very proud of not only our university, but this Doctorate of Education program, and also most particularly our students and graduates. So let's get started. So here we are, just to give you the formal introduction of myself and Dr. McMillan. Again, here's some more information for you on our backgrounds. Of course, we've been in academia for quite a while. I'm not going to tell you how many years. We try not to talk about how many, maybe not many years, but many decades we've been involved. But this is just part of our bios. Again, you'll receive a link to this recording with all of this information. Certainly, you can Google us on the internet too and find out more than you ever wanted to know about us. Here's some background about National American University. If you're new to our university, our mission is to make sure that we serve all of our students with the best learning experience, the most supportive environment, for all individuals, no matter their background, their cultures, their ability, or their preparedness to be successful in reaching their educational goals and in their professional fields. So that's our mission. Has been for, guess what, 78 plus years. So we're one of the universities that have been around longer than many universities. So we have been around since 1941. I have to share with you, my father was 6 years old when National American University first began. Also, we have a proud legacy of changing lives in so many different environments. We believe that education happens in the formal setting, like in our classwork, in our outreach work, and certainly every single day of our lives, education is happening. So what you will learn about this program today is not only it's a very relevant doctorate program, but also it's highly practical. You learn things that you can utilize in your professions, in your future, in your education, and certainly in your personal lives. So, some people ask, why in the world, why go to the trouble of earning a Doctorate of Education degree? Well, I'm sure this slide, the print is really pretty tiny. That's why you'll have the opportunity to review this much closer when you get the recording. But I'd like to share with you, basically, over here on the left side, it says median weekly earnings by education. So for those of you who will go on up the scale just a bit, in order to get into the doctorate degree program to be accepted, one of the criteria is that you have a master's degree. Well, by these 2018-2019 statistics at the master's degree level, generally speaking, you should be making $1,500 per week. Well, jump up to the doctorate degree, the highest bar that you see up there, and you're looking at somewhere between $1,750 and $2,000 per week. So again, I wanted you to be sure to have this particular slide that gives you a little bit of data. Additionally, today, what we're going to be talking about, in addition to the Doctorate of Education, the structure of the Doctorate of Education, which includes two very specialized areas in this Doctorate of Education degree. One is, as a student, you may specialize in community college leadership, or you may specialize in educational administration. So let's go forward to another slide. Excuse me. When we talk about rewarding careers and higher salaries, then many people ask, and rightfully so, what can I do with a Doctorate of Education degree? Who would like to see me have this type of training? How would it benefit me professionally? And how will it benefit the organization, the industry, the institution, the nonprofit, the for-profit agency, government agency, whoever it is? How will they benefit from me earning my Doctorate of Education degree? Well, let me share with you just a few titles, if you will, while we're sitting on this screen. So if you specialize in the community college leadership program, then you most definitely would qualify to be a chief academic officer of a college or university. You would certainly qualify as a chief learning officer of a college or university, or you could qualify as a university or college instructor with your Doctorate of Education degree. This is both at the college level for community colleges, technical colleges, and certainly at the university level. So, and there are many, many administrative positions, far too many for us to list here today at the community college level. Deans, associate deans, vice presidents, you name it. With a Doctorate of Education degree, you would certainly put yourself on the head of the stack in terms of competing for those positions. I will share with you also that Dr. Ron Shape, who is the president of National American University, has his EDD. He has his Doctorate of Education. Now, without a doubt, his expertise is in accounting, and that is his true love. But he knew he needed to get his doctorate degree in education in order to be a president of this university. So we're very, very proud of him. To list just a few areas that maybe are not in the educational industry or educational field, if you will, or the formal educational field, if you will. Think about this: training and development managers. Most companies and businesses and industries have HR departments, and they're required to provide training for each and every employee every single year. Think about the healthcare industry. They have to provide training for every single employee in their organization. Think about state agencies. Again, training annually for every single employee in their organization. Disney Corporation. One of our graduates from last year in California is head of education in Disney Corporation in California. IBM. Absolutely. Every one of these big companies requires that they have an education department to ensure that every one of their employees are educated and trained on various different elements every single year. So guess what? Education is continuous, happens all the time. So I'm an education administrator. Again, organizations and agencies, both in the public and private sector, have to train those employees. They have to have those training programs designed and implemented every year. Think about the social and community service managers, grant writing. Think about this, folks. Has anybody heard of the government's Paycheck Protection Program that has just been rolled out this summer or late this spring to help companies, help businesses, provide them funds to take care of their employees for businesses and industries who have been devastated by COVID-19. I guarantee you all of those business and industries would love to have someone with a doctorate of education who can write those grants, write those applications, and ensure that their companies and businesses get those funding opportunities. So give that some thought. Survey researchers, guess what? We see data, we hear data, we hear who's ahead in which poll for whatever all the time. All of those survey researchers, highly regarded if they have a doctorate of education. Compliance officers, any type of policy and legal issues, they really appreciate having professionals who have a doctorate of education also to help out with those research and survey elements. So you can see that's just a few, if you will, of the different industries and opportunities to utilize a doctorate of education. So I'm going to pause just a minute. I know Dr. McMillan is wanting to chime in, so I want him to say a few things before we move on to this next slide.
Thank you, Dr. Moore, for that and for your wonderful leadership. I learned so much from your energy, and I appreciate you each day. What is interesting about the doctorate for me is you're now at a level where people actually pursue your knowledge. They seek you out. Instead of you actually actively seeking some of these jobs, I get calls and emails all the time from folks who are just seeking my expertise. You have the doctorate behind your name, you have the more degrees in thermometer, but more so you are learning to become a critical thinker at a higher level. So I'm not surprised at all at the diversity of the amount of fields that these are in and the great minds that we're building into a program such as this. I must point out, it took me 7 years to complete my doctorate. I like to say 7 years and a lot of tears. You're talking about a program where you can get done in 3 years, and it's well managed, taught by some of the biggest names in history of the community college. So I've seen the praises of this excellent program at NAU. So keep up the great work. And Dr. Moore, I look forward to the next slides.
Okay, all righty. So at NAU, not only do you have fabulous professors like Dr. McMillan, and everybody here is absolutely engaged and works purposefully to ensure that you are successful as you work through not only this program, but any program at National American University. So this slide basically shares with you about your graduation team, of course, expert faculty, relevant topics, and hyper-personalization and collaboration. And since we're talking about collaboration here, think about this. I was trying to come up with a really cool acronym that you could remember, and the best I could do was CLMP, C-L-M-P. That stands for collaborate, lead teams, manage change, and problem solve. And if you don't believe that every industry and organization and business right now today highly regards professionals who can come in and collaborate with everyone in the business, lead their teams through all kinds of challenging times like we have right now, certainly manage change, having to manage a lot of change right now, probably more than ever before, and problem solve. So without a doubt, what you'll find out is that this program is highly collaborative, more so than any educational program, probably more so than many face-to-face programs that have existed in the past. And I'll say that we're as collaborative or more collaborative than most every other online program that exists out there. So this slide here talks about skills for a new generation of leaders. Gives you a lot of these basic skills. These are some of the competencies of our program. I'm not going to go through these individual, but you can see that you know, you learn how to really demonstrate professional, oral, written communication skills. If you have the knowledge and you have the practice and everything, you know what's supposed to happen. If you can't communicate, then it really is lost. So keep this in mind. So here, this is a really good slide here. It tells you more about our Doctorate of Education program. Again, our specializations in community college leadership and educational leadership, those we have right now to offer to you. In the future, we're going to design a practitioner to educator track, if you will. We've had many professionals, particularly in the healthcare industry, who have said, you know, I've been a charge nurse, I've been an ER nurse, you know, I've been a doctor, I've been an anesthesiologist all of my career. I want to give back, I want to teach. So this is the track that we've got planned for probably roll out next year, where it will provide the specialized courses in how practitioners can transition and also be part-time educators. Also, the health science field we know is growing like crazy. Thank goodness for them and helping us tackle, you know, the recent pandemic and so forth. But more so than ever, we're going to need professionals who can lead in an educational environment as pertaining to the healthcare and health sciences industry. Mentoring, again, when potential students become part of this program, our students become part of a national network. We have graduates, we have faculty, we have colleagues nationwide. There's not one state that we don't have someone who is part of the National American University Doctor of Education family. So no matter where you are, you're part of a network of a family who is there anytime, just about any time, to support you, manage you, and provide resources and guidance for you anytime. This is a 60 credit hour program. It is fully online. Our residencies and our practicums and so forth are all done virtually now. So there's no travel involved. You don't have to relocate, nothing like that. We're going to, let's see, I want to hit enrollment on the top right hand of the screen. We are enrolling now. We're taking applications for our fall 2020 start, our fall 2020 cohort, which will begin August the 31st. So we will really only have 3 cohorts per year, one that starts in the fall, one that starts January in the spring, and then one that starts the beginning of the summer, right around the end of May every year. So just wanted to let you know that it's, well, we're not set up where we start these cohorts, you know, monthly or every other month. We start them 3 times a year because students go through this program as a cohort, as a group of learners together. So our cohorts work together, they learn together, and they stay together, and they become very, very good friends. We are accredited by the Higher Learning Commission, which we're very proud of. So I'll go to the next slide. I'll talk more about dissertations and just on this slide here. Again, I know this is tiny print, but you'll have a copy of this, so maybe you can enlarge it when you get it, and you can see a little bit better. So starting over here to the left side, the left column, you'll see the first trimester, which starts again August the 31st, this August, just around the corner. And this group of students will be enrolled in the ED 8400 class. We're starting out with ethics and values. I have the honor of teaching that course as program director and as associate provost of this institution. I'm so excited to do it because I get to make sure that all of our new Doctorate of Education program students get off to a really, really good start. Then we'll go into the ED 8200 class, Managing Change, which again, boy, if we don't all need to brush up on our managing change skills, right? Very important. But you can see the first year of study in the first column is primarily core courses. The second year of study is more core courses, and you begin to get into your specialization courses. Again, whether you're specializing in community college leadership or educational leadership, whichever one of those two tracks you choose, you'll have specialized courses for those. And then the third year, which is the year everyone is so excited about, is the year that you develop and design and implement and write your dissertation. So, you know, students say, wow, you know, I've heard the dissertation is the worst thing in the world. But guess what? We begin you thinking about the dissertation soon as you start the program. So this fall, our new students will begin thinking about their dissertation topics. So by the time our students get to beginning that third and final year of this doctorate program, they're really ready to go and embark on going through the dissertation journey, which takes roughly about a year to get through. So again, as Dr. McMillan shared with you, his doctorate program was 7 years to complete. This one here, with no problem, students can get through it if you stick with your cohort, your friends who will support you along the way, and all of us, you'll be finished in 3 years.
And Dr. Moore, if I might add that.
Yes.
Model is so wonderful. This program is everything I wish I had had in my program. We offer encouragement, support, and when the cohort coordinator can't help you get through life's vicissitudes, you have your colleagues to help bring you forth and help you get through it together. The process can be stressful at times, but when you go through it as a group, you have friends for a lifetime. And so I'm thankful for this model. I'm a living witness of the model, and I think it's very, very effective. I will also say this about the teachers. They are experts, yes, indeed, but teaching online is still online teaching. They go together. You have a live expert, a mentor, a consultant right there in the class who, when you talk about managing change, Dr. McCall wrote the book on managing change, and he's teaching the class. It just doesn't get any better than that. So I'm looking forward to the continued efforts here, and certainly I'm very, very proud of the cohort that we're leading to be future doctors and future world changers, if you will.
Right, exactly, Dr. McMillan. And again, I mentioned that this is a very different learning environment. It's a highly collaborative learning environment. So, you know, many students that come into this environment say, wow, you know, in my undergrad or my master's degree, you know, I wasn't encouraged to share ideas and bounce ideas and theories and concepts off my classmates. You know, maybe that was considered cheating or something. Well, not in this environment. We encourage that sharing of ideas, the thoughts, the dynamic of learning. So I share with so many students or potential students for this program, you don't get to think in a linear fashion anymore in this program. It's very, very dynamic and information coming from all around, and you get to pull out this piece, pull out that piece, put it together, and see what you can make of it. So that's exactly what we do in the cohorts. They are teams, and they work very, very well together. And like Dr. McMillan said, it's a blast being teachers and being in that environment. We get to share a lot. We get to learn a lot. Right, Dr. McMillan?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It just gives my heart joy to see the students work together, to see them grow from year 1 to year 3, and to know that they are future leaders in the community college world and all over in many different industries, business world. I know we're in good hands.
Absolutely. So this slide talks just a little bit more about the dissertation process. But again, we don't wait till the beginning of the 3rd year to start talking about the dissertation. We talk about that from year 1. And I can't tell you how many times I've been in class and had a discussion, you know, in class with a student, and they brought up some great ideas. And one of the other classmates would say, "Hey, Joe, remember, write that down. That needs to be your dissertation topic in 2 years." So many times, right, Dr. McMillan? We've seen that happen.
Yes, indeed. And we know the students on a first name basis like that. They really become part of our family. And I answer texts at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. My philosophy is this: I'm devoted to you. If I'm awake, I will respond, and I will do my best to get the answer if I don't have the answer. So that's the level of devotion we have as teachers in this program, if you will.
That's exactly right. And not only do we all have that devotion and for our students in the program, but we have that for each other. Dr. McMillan and all of our colleagues that run this program and teach in this program, we're all very, very good friends. Here are 2 others. Here you see, of course, Dr. Tyson McMillan to your far left. You see Dr. Mary Fifield in the center, who lives in Chicago, Illinois. And there's just about not anyone in the nation, business, industry, or in academia, that Dr. Mary Fifield doesn't know or know someone who knows. She is one of the most well-connected individuals you can ever imagine. Dr. Mike McCall here on the right, he teaches some of our courses as well as Dr. Fifield and Dr. McMillan. And Dr. McCall is very, very connected nationwide. He serves on boards of many national, very high-level organizations. Again, very, very well connected. We could call him here right now. He would answer and say, "What is it do our students need? I'm here to serve." So this is the quality and the commitment of all of the people that love this university and love this program and are here to support not only our current students, our graduates, but certainly our new students coming into the program. So you may think, what do I have to do to be admitted to this program? Well, of course, a master's degree is required. You need to have a GPA of at least 3.0 on a 4-point scale. We have a admissions committee, which I do head. We'll review all of your documentation, have a meeting with you, and let you know if you have been accepted or not. We do require 3 years of work experience. That doesn't have to be in academia. It doesn't have to be in any particular field. We just would like for you to have 3 years of work experience. But you know what? There are some great folks out there who really don't want to list any type of work experience. Okay, so a letter of recommendation from a professional that can attest to the applicant's leadership potential will certainly suffice. You have to be willing to work in a cohort model like Dr. McMillan and myself have shared with you. That's what we know is successful. It's fun, it's collaborative, and it's a learning environment like no other. Of course, you would need to put together a personal and professional goal statement. Not a lengthy document here, just up to 500 words, not one word over. It can be 250 or 300 words if you like, but tell us about your personal and professional goals. We need to have a current CV or resume, and of course your transcripts. Guess what? No GRE test is required. Dr. McMillan, did you have to take the GRE test?
Took it twice. Didn't do very well. Barely got in, scraped by. Thank goodness they got me into the program. And I took the GMAT as well because I looked into business programs. 300
there you go.
A test, and wow. And on my budget back then, that was not easy to come up with. So I appreciated that slide. I had a site,
Yes.
no GRE.
No GRE, right. I had to take it also to enter my doctoral program. I'll tell you, I didn't do very well in the writing section, but I aced the analytical part. So I slid under the wire the first time. I was very happy because it is very expensive.
Yeah.
So good thing there. We have, as I mentioned earlier, a group of graduates from this program that we're so proud of. And honestly, we can pick up the phone anytime and call them. They love mentoring new students, and they love participating as guest speakers. And they just, they love the program. They're highly successful. This is Dr. Sharice Breeden-Balan from Passaic County in New Jersey. And she helps us out, but they're there to support you, guide you, and to say, hey, when you're feeling like you're a little bit, overboard, gone overboard or sinking, or whatever, life happens and everything is piling in on you. They've been there and they're really good to say, hey, look, we're here. You can do it. If we can do it, you can do it. So you have this great resource as well of all of the graduates, and they love to hear from current students. Let's see, so what are our current graduates doing now? Well, as I mentioned to you, many are in the community college environment as presidents, as professors, as deans, vice presidents, faculty members in the community college, in the technical college, and in the university systems. Many graduates are out there. We also have executive IT recruiter in, I can't remember, it's just left me. I want to say Exxon, but I'm not positive. Don't hold me to that. We have quite a few in the healthcare industry. One of our graduates is a director of respiratory care and polysomnography programs. Easy for me to say, right, Dr. Millen? That one I have to work on.
I'm not going to say it at all.
Anyway, it's a very important respiratory care program in one of our major healthcare provider companies. Of course, professors, presidents, we talked about those. We have graduates in marketing and communications, all types of workforce, and corporate partnerships, and the corporate world. We have quite a few. I mentioned one that works for Disney Corporation, California. Managers of 21st century communications, quite a few of those as well. One thing that you learn how to do in this program is you learn to communicate and have fun doing it. You learn how to well communicate face-to-face, on the telephone, in this Zoom virtual environment, and certainly in writing. So a lot of our graduates are in communications, in the communication industry. Again, program coordinators, professors in colleges and technical colleges. We have at least 2 directors of performing arts. One at Bergen Community College in New Jersey, and one at Long Beach City College in California. We have graduates there that are heavy in the theater industry and performing arts. And of course, I mentioned our student who does work for Disney Corporation. So they are all over the place. Just about any industry that you're interested in, we can connect you with a graduate, or certainly a graduate and a professor. So tuition, how much does it cost? Well, we have worked to look at our program and say, wow, we need to shave off a couple of dollars on this tuition. So starting in the fall, our program is $800 per credit hour. Still this summer, it's at $1,000 per credit hour. But for all of our students who begin this fall and our continuing students for this fall, they will be at the $800 per credit hour rate. So we're trying to help out everybody as much as we can. We realize that our country is in trying times and difficult economic times. So if we can shave off a few dollars off that tuition, we certainly want to do so. In terms of financial aid, we have a robust financial aid department, and they work diligently to help students find financial resources to be able to successfully complete this program. So there are a lot of direct loans out there, private loans, all types of resources that we can put potential students in touch with. So here we are. So Dr. McMillan, tell me, what did I miss? What do these good people need to know that I failed to mention?
Well, you were very thorough as always, but I'd love to also mention the low student to teacher ratios. You're never going to have a class where you're so overwhelmed that you can't find your teacher. We respond, and I'm talking about some of the biggest names in history community colleges respond efficiently to the students. I've helped assist them throughout the process, and I know that they generally care. But that was the only other point I would say. We really are focused on your learning as an individual, so we don't overwhelm the classrooms, and we give you good student-teacher ratios, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Right, absolutely. In terms of the size of the cohort, we're looking at right around 15, 20 would probably be the largest cohort. Mm-hmm. Again, because we want to have a productive learning environment. If you don't have enough students in the cohort, then you don't have enough to really have a rich conversation around important topics. If you have too many, then it's very difficult for everybody to have the time that they want and need to be able to share their ideas and their experiences. Mm-hmm. So we found that right around 15 students roughly is really the sweet spot. So that's what you can expect in terms of the number of students in our cohorts. Let's see there. Oh, and the other thing, Dr. McMillan, that you reminded me of is more than any other institution and more than any other program, I can tell you that our faculty members, our graduates, everyone at the university, but particularly our faculty members are accessible and they are responsive. And I can't think of one of them that would not respond to a student's text or email, particularly text. You know, that's the quickest thing nowadays. And you can do that while you're sitting in the movie theater if you're really quiet, right? Yes. But yeah, we pride ourselves in being accessible and responsive because we feel like, honestly, that's really our commitment to being available to students whenever they have questions or whenever they have some type of need. If you have a question, you know, things are moving by so fast nowadays that if you can't get a response immediately, wow, you know, so many times it's an opportunity that's lost, you know. So we pride ourselves in being very responsive. Just like Dr. McMillan, I keep my cell phone with me. And my dear husband understands, and my family, nights and weekends, that's what it takes. We have quite a few of our students and our graduates that know my husband because they've called many times needing help, and he's been able to help them sometimes, and he certainly doesn't mind, but then he turns the phone over to me. So we're very, very dedicated to the success of all of our students. So again, thank you so much for attending today. Debbie, I think maybe we may have some questions.
We do. Actually, I just want to remind people that if you have a question, you can do the Q&A or the chat box at the bottom. But just to kind of tag on to what you were saying, we have a message from Kathy Acosta, who's on, and she is going to say a few words about the cohort. Kathy?
Yes, thank you so much. I just really want to say to anybody that's been on this webinar today, if you're unsure or you think that this message that you're receiving is too good to be true, it's not too good to be true. We absolutely get the support that we need as students. Dr. T absolutely answers emails at 2 o'clock in the morning if need be. Dr. Moore is an incredible support as well. I came in this cohort about 2 semesters late, and they did everything to stand by my side and support me. And I'm graduating with the current cohort on time. I'm a doctoral candidate now. I'll be complete in August. And it's an incredible support system. There isn't anything that I have needed that NAU has not responded with. And for me, it's been incredible. We absolutely have access to some of the biggest names in higher education, game changers in higher education, founding fathers and mothers of, you know, the new community college. And so, I mean, being part of this university is really a game changer. I think for me, it's allowed me the opportunity to really just grow as an individual and to really grow as a professional. I am beyond excited to finish my doctorates. People are absolutely already knocking on my door and seeking me out to assist in different areas. And so all that you have heard today is absolutely accurate. And I highly encourage you to really consider, you know, becoming part of the NAU cohort. And I guarantee you, if you have the desire to be successful, and if you have the desire and the dedication to complete a doctoral program, this program will hold your hand, be by your side until we cross the finish line. So just some food for thought, and think about that as you're making your decisions.
Well done, future Dr. Kathy.
That's right.
I'm rooting for you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's right. We refer to her as almost Dr. Kathy Acosta. Absolutely. Thank you, Kathy, so much for those words of encouragement and for sharing your experience in this program. And I have to brag about Kathy just a minute. She works really, really hard at Dallas County Community College District in Dallas, Texas. Works really hard, takes care of so many people, and she's been, you know, a full-time administrator at that very, very large institution, and she's been a full-time student in this program and has done just a beautiful job. So I can't brag enough about her. So we will all be celebrating this fall when Kathy is finished. So she's done a great job. Congratulations, Kathy.
Thank you. Thank you. I could not have done it without everyone's support. Thank you.
Dr. Moore, I do have another question. Can you talk a little more about the differences between the community college leadership specialization and the educational leadership specialization?
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I appreciate that question. So the community college leadership specialization, those specialized courses really get deep into the nuts and bolts of specifically managing in a community college environment. So they're very, very specific to community college environments. Exactly, you know, how to do budgeting, how the systems work, how to be effective in a community college with developing partnerships with business and industry for training, those types of specialization courses and experiences in that specialization. For the educational leadership specialization, it's much broader. It is for the professional who wants to be, again, working for Boeing, working for IBM, working for Amazon, working for in business and industry, not so much as an educator or in an educational, for an educational provider, but in business and industry where they are constantly training employees and this sort of types of things. So it's far for a broader application.
Thank you for that. I believe that's all the questions that we have right now. Does anyone else have anything else? No? So if not, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. I just wanted to point out again that if you have any questions, you can always email Dr. Moore. Her email address is on the screen, or you can go to our website at national.edu for more detail about the program. And I just want to, once again, thanks to Dr. Moore and Dr. McMillan for a very informative presentation. And everyone can watch their email for the recording of today's session. So thank you.
Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Dr. McMillan. And thank you, Debbie, so much. This was fun.